The Lex Times, Lexington's local news.
Welcome to a special edition of Lex Times Daily. Today's whole show is about 3rd Street stuff and coffee, and a document everyone has been saying does not exist.
3rd Street is closing June 1st. The owner, Pat Gerhard, is handing the business to her son and daughter-in-law, who is currently a manager. The entire unionized staff got what the union characterizes as 10 days' notice and is on strike.
All weekend on r/Lexington, the most upvoted criticism of the union has been some version of, quote, "We do not even know what they are asking for. They have never published their demands," end quote.
They did. The union sent a 9-page demands letter to Pat Gerhard dated January 27, 2026, 4 months before the closure was announced. The Lexington Times is now hosting that letter at lexingtonky.news on a public link.
We read it. Here is what is actually in it in 4 categories.
Category 1. Things that are already the law. The union says managers have been taking tips out of the tip pool. Federal law 29 CFR 531.54 says employers may not allow managers and supervisors to receive tips from the tip pool. That is not negotiable. That is wage and hour compliance.
The union says staff is not getting the rest breaks Kentucky law requires. 10 paid minutes for every 4 hours worked. Same with lunch breaks. The famous, quote, "no mops," end quote, Reddit thread from last December is also in the demands list, word for word.
Category 2. Standard collective bargaining stuff. Schedules a week in advance, equitable shift distribution, a union rep at any disciplinary meeting. These are the bread and butter of every small employer union contract in the country.
Category 3. Ambitious worker cooperative asks. Monthly bank statement review by the union. Every employee voting on policy changes. Equal pay for the same role. You can argue these are too much. What you cannot argue, with the letter in front of you, is that the union did not know what they wanted.
Category 4. The cultural asks. The union wants 3rd Street to stop naming lattes after Black and Indigenous leaders unless the business commits to donating a share of those sales to relevant liberation organizations. They also describe a, quote, minstrel statue, end quote, in the shop and demand context or removal.
Those concerns may be real. The wrong place to raise them is in a labor demands letter that is also asking for legal break compliance and an end to manager tip skimming. Bundling them gave critics the exit. Once the statue is in the conversation, you can stop talking about the tip pool.
Here is the part of this story the rest of Lexington should sit with for a minute.
The same neighbors who would march for Amazon workers in Bessemer were posting this week that real unions are for Walmart, Amazon, or Toyota. That a coffee shop union is silly. That the staff should just go work somewhere else if they are unhappy.
This is a town that loves to wear its labor politics on its bumper sticker. We carry signs at the Capitol when the legislature gnaws at collective bargaining. We post the right things during corporate strikes. We have meant it.
And then a union appeared at our corner coffee shop, and the conversation changed.
What the demands document tells you, if you read it, is that this dispute has a wage and hour spine that fits inside the boundary of every union in the country. The staff alleged their employer was breaking federal tip pooling law and Kentucky break law. They wrote it down. They sent it to her. They waited 4 months.
The full document is hosted at lexingtonky.news. Search 3rd Street Stuff Demand List, and you will find both the document itself and the full column we ran on it today.
Read it before you tell us the union is performative.
That's the show. Until tomorrow.
Lex Times Daily. Until tomorrow.